Kamala Harris is the presumed Democratic nominee for the presidential election, and I have to talk about it. By the way, I'm KJ Miller. I typically talk about all things business, beauty, and pop culture, but today I'm talking about politics, so let's get into it. And right at the outset, let me say two things. One, I'm in my hotel room in Las Vegas, so this is not my normal background. Two, I do not typically talk about politics, and this is not about to become a politics first page. I have neither the skill nor the desire to make my page entirely about politics. But what I don't want to hear in the comments is that you're not interested in hearing about politics from me, because if you're not interested, you simply do not have to watch, okay? No one is forcing you to watch anything I create. But this is something that's very important to me and something I'm excited about, and generally, that's what I make content about. So let's get into it. I don't have a planned structure for this video. Really, I just wanted to use this time to share a number of the thoughts that I've had in the past 4 days since we found out that Kamala was going to be our presidential nominee. The first is just genuine excitement. And I have to tell you, I have not felt excited about this election. Not once until now, okay? Not once. I felt a sense of urgency. I think if Donald Trump becomes president again, we can pretty much kiss democracy goodbye. So yes, it felt urgent to make sure that he was not in office, but it didn't feel exciting. Now it feels exciting. And it just is so refreshing to be able to feel excited about this election. Like, it's a breath of fresh air, having a new nominee, having a nominee who is a woman, who is Black and brown, who has the record she has, who is young, okay, particularly relative to the octogenarians we had on the ticket before. It's new, right? And it gets to be exciting. I get to be excited about the prospect of having a president that my daughter can look up to and say, wow, she looks like me. I get to be excited about that. I get to be excited about having a potential president who is an AKA. Now, I'm not an AKA, but I have an entire family of Deltas, so I'm very familiar with the Divine Nine, with the sorors, with the strolls, with it all. and I got to tell you, it's exciting. Even though I'm not a part of it, I do feel tangentially related to it, and that's exciting for me. It's exciting to potentially have a president who has the resume she has, who did so much for the great state of California as district attorney and as attorney general, who has been a senator, who has been in the White House passing so much important legislation with President Biden. It's exciting, okay? And I get to be excited, and I haven't been excited until now. So that's number one. I'm genuinely excited. Number two, I have not until this moment really felt inspired to get up and do the work. So what's the work that I'm doing? Well, number one, I'm donating, okay? I've already donated, and I am planning on donating every month from here until the election. I am signed up to be a volunteer, all right? So, doing the phone banking, the text banking, the hosting gatherings potentially at my house to encourage people to vote. And I might do door knocking as well. I did sign up and say I was willing to do it. I got to tell you, as a Black person in America, knocking on strangers' doors is dangerous. So I'll be very upfront. I said I would do it, and I might do it, but I might opt out of that one for my own safety. But the other ones I definitely for sure will be doing. And I haven't, like I said, until this moment really felt inspired to do the work. So now it's not just me expressing excitement on the internet, which I'm going to do, but it is me donating and volunteering, right? And spreading the word. So that's just, again, it's inspiring and cool to feel that way. The third thing I will say is just how deeply unimpressed I am with what the Republicans are bringing in terms of their attacks on Kamala. It was always going to be racist. We knew that. It was always going to be misogynistic. We knew that because they don't really know how to do anything better. But calling her the DEI candidate, I got to tell you, I think that is going to backfire because, first of all, she's actually qualified. It'd be one thing if, like Donald Trump, the only reason she were running was because she had been on some reality show. That's the only reason we got him, right? No, he had never been elected to anything before, had literally no qualifications, was a failed businessman, okay? Has been sued by many estates, was a laughingstock, among other business people. He had no qualifications, okay? So if she, like him, were coming off of one successful reality TV show trying to be president, then maybe I could understand a DEI candidate accusation. But hello? She literally has been in public office for years and years and years. She was elected to multiple offices that you, sir, never held. So That's pissing me off. It's truly pissing me off. And I think it's going to backfire because I think we are all able to read between the lines. You're trying to be racist, but couch it in DEI terms. No, sir. It just reads as racism and misogyny. That's it. And we can all see it. So that's pissing me off, but I think it's going to backfire for them. Other thoughts, I'm deeply ecstatic to see that the Republican Party is already having buyer's remorse over J.D. Vance. He is from Ohio. I hate that for me. I hate that for my state. He's a terrible person. He wants to take women back 100 years. He doesn't even think if you are in a marriage where your husband is abusive that you should be able to easily get a divorce. Go check the stats, okay? Go find the interviews where he's literally on record saying he doesn't think we should have no fault divorces. Okay? Along with he doesn't think we should ever be able to get an abortion for any reason, including rape and incest. That's who they put on the ticket, and that is going to backfire, and they're already regretting it, and good. Aha. The other thing I just want to say is what I am loving about Kamala. Obviously, she's got a great track record. Obviously, she's got a great resume, but she also is so personable. I've actually met Kamala Harris. A little bit of a flex. I have met her. And she is genuinely charismatic, genuinely warm, and truly personable. And what I've been loving are so many clips coming out of just like her personable moments. Interviews she's done with her little sister. Interviews she's done where she's quickly just telling you, oh, you want to make a turkey? Here's my quick recipe for you. Just like all of these human moments, because as we all know, Donald Trump does not come across as human. He really doesn't. Like, whether you like the guy or not, he comes across as extremely awkward, like someone you would not want to be in a room alone with, okay? And not just because he's been accused of and convicted of sexual assault, but because you wouldn't want to talk to that man. It doesn't seem like he knows how to carry on a normal conversation. But Kamala, if you were in a room alone with Kamala, I guarantee you would laugh together. You would kiki. You would learn something, okay? She would express real warmth. I mean, and that feels nice. It feels nice to think that there is someone at the top of the ticket for Democrats, but more importantly, someone who's going to be president who isn't just a machine, isn't just a robot, isn't just a political shill, right? Is a person. That's exciting for me. It just is. Oh, I definitely want to comment on how fantastic of a job I think her social media team is doing. I do think Gen Z is going to decide this election. At the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to voter turnout. I don't think any Trump supporters are going to magically become Kamala supporters, right? I don't think we're going to be changing hearts and minds of people who are already staunchly for Trump. So what it's going to come down to is getting people who weren't planning to vote and getting first-time voters out to the booths, right? And I think there has been so much I think a lot of people have felt like not participating, particularly given everything going on in Gaza. I think that made a lot of people feel like they just wanted to step away. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to deal with it. And now that we've got this renewed energy, I think we're going to get a lot more people to the polls, and it's going to come down to voter turnout, and it's going to come down to Gen Z. And that is why I think Kamala's team being so smart with social media, taking advantage of the fact that she's the meme candidate, taking advantage of all of these sound bites and dances and the coconut tree and Brat Summer and everything else. I think it's so smart because, again, it is rejuvenating a campaign that people were tired of. And it's bringing energy to a demographic, the Gen Z demographic, in a way that Trump simply cannot do. He's old and sad and creepy. I'm not even really trying to hate. I actually think all of that is factual. He's old and sad and creepy, okay? I don't think Gen Z is rushing out for that candidate, but I think Gen Z can rush out for a candidate who is smart, accomplished, warm, charismatic, and understands how to use social media, for gosh sakes. And then the final thing I want to say is about Taylor Swift. I mean, I can barely go 2 days without talking about this woman. First of all, Beyonce has already cleared Freedom for Kamala as her campaign song. If you haven't seen the campaign video featuring Freedom, oh my God, fantastic. fantastic. So, and Beyonce has already essentially endorsed her. Not like she hasn't given a public statement, but one, you let her use the song, and two, you sent her flowers saying that she's the leader we need. Okay, so Beyonce has already endorsed her, and I would expect no less. And I am expecting Beyonce to perform at inauguration, and I am very excited about it. And yes, I have booked my hotel for inauguration. Okay, back to Taylor. A lot of people are saying they want Taylor to publicly endorse Kamala as well. And I do. I'll be honest. Of course I would want that. But I also think I saw someone make this point on TikTok, and I thought it was a really good point. I think Taylor is extremely strategic. And right now, Kamala is already controlling the news cycle. That is already what we are all talking about day in, day out. So she doesn't need Taylor's endorsement right now in this pivotal moment. She probably needs it later when the news cycle has died down a bit and they're back to talking about Trump and his shenanigans. That's the time when Taylor can come out and know that if she comes out with an endorsement, it's going to dominate the news cycle again and give Kamala another several days of being in the news. So who knows if she will or if she won't, but I do think her not doing it right now is smart. I do agree with that take. Oh, and my final thing is I made a video as soon as this news basically came out, like the next morning, I made a video over on TikTok talking about the top 5 reasons I was so excited for Kamala Harris presidency. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go watch it. I think it's just a fun little video. Anyway, that's it for this video. Like I said, I'm not about to become a political analyst, okay? You're not going to get nonstop political commentary from me, but I am very excited, and I wanted to share my excitement and all of the things I'm feeling. And if you're excited too, I want to hear from you too in the comments. Let me know. And as always, subscribe if you love this content. See you next time.